Are you worried about the government's control over your money? The digital dollar is here, and it's raising some serious questions. Issued by the Federal Reserve and backed by the US government, the central bank digital currency, CBDC, promises to revolutionize the way we make payments. But some people are raising red flags, claiming that it could give the government too much control over our money. So, what's the truth behind the digital dollar? Is it a game changer or a cause for concern? In this video, we take a closer look at the digital dollar and explore arguments for and against its use. What is the digital dollar? The digital dollar is a new form of digital currency that is being explored as a potential alternative to traditional physical currency and electronic payment methods. It will be issued by the Federal Reserve, the Central Bank of the United States, and will be a digital version of the physical currency, the US dollar. This means that instead of carrying around hard cash or using electronic payment methods like credit cards or Venmo, the digital dollar will allow individuals and businesses to make and receive payments electronically, using a digital version of the currency. One of the main differences between the digital dollar and traditional physical currency is that it would be issued in electronic form, rather than as physical notes or coins. This means that the Federal Reserve would not need to print physical money, but would instead issue a cryptographic representation of the currency in electronic form. The digital dollar will also be backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, just like traditional physical currency. In contrast to the digital dollar, electronic payment methods like credit cards and Venmo are not backed by the government. These methods are typically used to make payments between commercial banks or through payment transactions providers, rather than being issued by a central bank. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are also not backed by the government and are not issued by a central bank. Instead, they operate on decentralized networks and are not subject to the same regulations as traditional currency. Advantages of the digital dollar. The digital dollar has the potential to bring several advantages to individuals and businesses in the United States. One of the main benefits is increased convenience, as the digital dollar would allow people to make and receive payments electronically without the need to carry around physical cash or use traditional payment methods like credit cards or checks. This can make transactions faster and more convenient, especially in situations where it is difficult or inconvenient to use physical cash, such as online or when making payments across borders. Another advantage of the digital dollar is its potential to increase financial inclusion for underserved populations. Currently, around 4.5% of households in the United States do not have a bank account, which can make it difficult for them to access financial services and participate in the modern economy. A digital currency issued by the central bank could provide an alternative for these individuals, allowing them to make and receive electronic payments and access financial services through a digital wallet on their smartphone. Furthermore, the digital dollar could also enable faster, cheaper, and safer payments. Because it would be issued by the central bank and backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, the digital dollar could provide a more stable and secure form of currency compared to some cryptocurrencies. It could also reduce transaction costs by eliminating the need for intermediaries and speeding up clearing and settlement processes, making it particularly useful for cross-border payments and international trade settlements. Other potential advantages of the digital dollar include the ability to track and verify transactions more easily, which could improve financial transparency and reduce the risk of fraud. It could also potentially improve the efficiency of the financial system by reducing the reliance on physical cash and streamlining the payment process. Concerns about the digital dollar. One concern that has been raised about the digital dollar is the potential impact on privacy. With the government issuing and operating a digital currency, they would have access to a vast amount of financial data that could be used to track and monitor the financial transactions of individuals. This could potentially lead to a loss of privacy, as the government could use this data for various purposes, such as enforcing taxes or monitoring potential criminal activity. Another red flag is the possibility for the government to take control of financial transactions. With a digital currency, the government could potentially have the ability to freeze or seize funds at their discretion, which could lead to concerns about financial freedom and autonomy. This could also have negative impacts on businesses and individuals who rely on access to their funds for their daily operations. There are also security risks to consider with a digital dollar. As with any digital system, there is a risk of cyber attacks and hacking. A successful hack of the digital dollar system could result in insignificant financial losses for individuals and the government. The decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, allows for a more inclusive financial system. Anyone with a smartphone and internet connection can participate in the cryptocurrency market. However, The lack of regulation and oversight in the cryptocurrency market also presents its own set of risks and concerns. Another concern is the potential for the digital dollar to be less inclusive than traditional forms of currency. For example, individuals without access to smartphones or other devices may not be able to participate in the digital economy. There is also the potential for certain groups, such as low-income communities, to be left behind if they do not have the necessary technology or access to participate. The recent implosion of the FTX cryptocurrency exchange serves as a reminder of the inherent risks and uncertainties in the world of decentralized finance. While the digital dollar may offer some benefits and protections, it is important for the government to carefully consider the potential risks and address them before moving forward with the implementation of a digital currency. Other countries' experiences with central bank digital currency. Several countries have already implemented digital currencies with varying results. For example, China has been piloting its own CBDC, the Digital Currency Electronic Payment, DCEP, in several cities since 2019. The DCEP is intended to be used as a replacement for physical cash and is issued and backed by the People's Bank of China. One of the main goals of the DCEP is to increase the efficiency and speed of transactions, as well as to provide the government with more data on economic activity. However, there have been concerns raised about the potential for the Chinese government to use the DCEP to monitor and control the financial transactions of its citizens. In contrast, Sweden has been exploring the use of a central bank digital currency, the e-krona, as a complement to physical cash, which has been in decline in the country. The Swedish central bank, the Riksbank, has conducted several pilot programs to test the feasibility of the e-krona and has found that it could potentially increase the accessibility of financial services for underserved populations. However, the Riksbank has also noted the importance of ensuring strong security and privacy protections for users of the e-krona. Another country that has implemented a digital currency is the Marshall Islands, which introduced the sovereign SOV in 2018. The SOV is intended to be used as a replacement for the US dollar, which has been the official currency of the Marshall Islands. However, the SOV has faced several challenges, including a lack of widespread adoption and difficulties in getting it accepted by financial institutions. The experience of the Marshall Islands highlights the importance of careful planning and execution in the implementation of a digital currency. The experience of other countries with digital currencies could also have implications for the US in terms of regulatory oversight. For example, China's central bank has implemented strict controls on the use of the DCEP system, including requiring users to register their real identities and only allowing approved institutions to participate in the system. This level of control could raise concerns about government oversight and privacy in the US. It will be important for the US to strike a balance between regulatory oversight and personal privacy as it develops its own digital currency. Current status of the digital dollar in the US. The digital dollar is currently in the testing and pilot phase in the US. In March 2021, lawmakers introduced the Electronic Currency and Secure Hardware Act, e-Cash Act, which would allow the US Treasury to create and pilot a digital dollar to determine its viability. The e-Cash Act also requires that all proof-of-concept pilots and field tests be designed as bearer instruments, capable of instantaneous and final peer-to-peer offline transactions, and capable of being directly distributed to and owned by the general public. There are also regulatory conditions and potential barriers to the implementation of a digital dollar in the US. As mentioned earlier, one concern is the potential for the government to track and monitor financial transactions, raising privacy issues. Additionally, there are concerns about the security of a digital currency, as it could potentially be vulnerable to cyber attacks. The e-Cash Act addresses these concerns by requiring that the digital dollar be implemented with strong security measures and protections for user privacy. The digital dollar is a complex and highly debated topic. While it offers the potential for increased convenience, financial inclusion, and faster, cheaper, and safer payments, it also raises concerns about privacy, government control, and security. It remains to be seen how it will be implemented in the US and what the consequences of its adoption will be. Whether you support or oppose the digital dollar, it is important to stay informed and stay engaged in this important conversation. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the digital dollar in the comments below.